What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on this video we'll be doing the question paper that you see here, which is National Certificate for Mathematics M3. This question paper was written on the 26th November 2025. It was an X paper that took 3 hours. On this particular video we'll be focusing on question 3 of this question paper. We've already done question 1 and question 2. If you want to watch those questions, I will leave a video or a playlist, in fact, that has both videos for both questions, and the very same playlist will pop up on the top right of this video that you're watching at the current moment. So before we start though, I just like to say thank you very much guys for watching, subscribing to the channel, commenting to the channel, and also not forgetting those who like and share the videos. Just in case you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. All right people, let's check out question 3 and let's solve it. All right, here's our question 3. Guys, this question 3 consists of 3 questions. So we're going to start with 3.1 and then we do other questions, which is 3.2 and 3.3. So let's create a space and let's do 3.1. All right, here is our 3.1, guys. So as you can see, we have the statement here. So how about we read the statement? Let's analyze it and let's start solving the problem. Now the statement goes like this. The hypotenuse of a right triangle is root 29 meters. The sum of the other two sides is 7 meters. Calculate the length of these two sides. So first of all, in order for you to solve this problem, you need to know about the right triangle. So I'm going to draw the right triangle on the right hand side. Right. So here's our right triangle there. Remember, they say the hypotenuse of this right triangle is root 29. If you still remember, the hypotenuse, guys, is actually r. So this is equaling to root 29. There we go. So this is our hypotenuse. If you continue and read the statement there, they say the sum of the other two sides is 7. So the other two sides that they're talking about this side here, which is x, and then that side there, which is y. They say the sum of these two, they give you 7. So if you say x plus y is gonna give you 7. Remember, the sum means that this is adding, they are adding each other. The word sum here, that means that x and y, they are adding each other and they're gonna give you 7. There is another equation that we can create. So we can use the Pythagoras theorem. If you still remember the Pythagoras theorem, we have x squared plus y squared is equaling to r squared. Now we can use the Pythagoras theorem formula to actually create another formula for this problem here. So we know that r is equaling to root 29 from our statement there, but we need to have r squared, this one here. So what is actually r squared? So you have to square both sides here. Let's square it. So this is gonna be r squared, and then the root and the square, then they're gonna divide each other. You'll be left with the power of 1. So actually r squared is equaling to 29. So we can write this equation: x squared plus y squared is equaling to 29. So this becomes your equation that you're gonna use later. So we can say we have two equations here on this problem. So we can call this one equation 1 and this one equation 2, right? So this means that we can use the simultaneous equation. But if we can look at equation 1 there, we can make x or y subject of the formula. How about I make y subject of the formula? So if I make y subject of the formula, I'm going to transpose this x to the other side. So meaning our new equation 1 is going to be y is equaling to 7 minus x, because this x now, if it goes to the right hand side, it's going to become negative. So this one is still equation 1. Let's call it the new equation 1. So I'm going to erase the first there. This is our new equation 1. So when it's like this, we need to use substitution to find the values of x, right? So we can say substitute equation 1 into equation 2. There we go. So let's do some substitution. Let me create a little bit of space here so that you can able to solve this further. Right, let me leave it here for now. So let's look at equation 2. So whatever there is y, we're going to substitute with equation 1, because equation 1 is equaling to y is equaling to 7 minus x. So we're gonna have x squared plus, instead of writing this y squared here, we're gonna substitute the y with this here, 7 minus x. So it's gonna be 7 minus x, but let's not forget this y here, it is squared, so we need to square this, and all this is equaling to 29. So from here we just factorize these things further. So let's create a bit of space again. So now let's start with x squared. X squared is just x squared. You're going to drop it as it is. And then this one here inside the bracket with square is similar to when we have 7 minus x multiplied by 7 minus x. All this is equaling to 29. There we go. Now let's do some FOIL. So we're going to drop x squared here plus, and then we say 7 multiplied by 7. Remember, we FOIL. This is going to give us 49. So we just multiply this 7 with that 7. Remember, we are doing a FOIL. And then we multiply this 7 with negative x. This is going to give us negative 7x. And then we are done there with that 7. Now we come to this negative x. Negative x multiplied by this 7 there, going to give us negative 7x. And then negative x multiplied by negative x, that is going to give us plus x squared. All this is equaling to 29. Right. When you look on the left hand side, we have the like terms, guys. Let me highlight the like terms. First of all, we have x squared and another x squared there. And then we also have negative 7 with another negative 7 there. So let's add the like terms. So we're going to have 2x squared there. We have negative 7x and negative 7x. That is going to give us negative 14x. And we also left with plus 49 equaling to 29. There we go. Again, we need to transpose this 29 to the left hand side so that you can have like terms for 49 and 29. So let's do it. So we drop 2x squared minus 14x plus 49 minus 29. This is going to be equaling to 0. So let me continue here on top. Again, we're going to continue here. We have 2x squared minus 14x. And then 49 minus 29. This is going to give us plus 20. All this is equaling to 0. So as you can see here, we have the common factor, which is 2. So we can divide by 2 throughout here. Divide by 2 each and every term. If we divide by 2 on the first term, we're going to be left with x squared. On the second term, we're going to be left with negative 7x. And then the third term, we're going to be having 10 there. All this is equaling to 0, because 0 divided by any number, it's 0. So from here, we need to factorize. So let's factorize, guys. We have the factors of x squared, which is x and x. Let's do them. X and x, when you multiply them, they're going to give you x squared. Now we need to find the factors of 10. When you add them, they're going to give you 7. We have 5 and 2. Right. So if you put negative and negative there, these factors, negative 2 multiplied by negative 5, they're going to give us positive 10. But negative 2 plus negative 5, they're going to give you negative 7. So these factors are correct. Now, x is going to be equaling to 2, or x is equaling to 5. Now, this is where things will get a bit tricky. Both of these answers are correct. You just have to choose one. So I'm going to explain to you, or I'm going to try to show you guys what do I mean by that. For example, let's say when x is 2, right? What is our y? Remember, if you still remember equation 1, let me show you equation 1 very quickly. Equation 1, here it is here. It says y is equaling to 7 minus x. Let's do it. Equation 1, it goes like this. Y is equaling to 7 minus x, right? When x is 2, so we're just going to substitute with 2 wherever there is x. It's going to be 7 minus 2, and our y is going to be 5. So this is your answer when you decide to say x is 2. All right, so we can check this answer whether it's correct or not by doing the following. Remember, we know that the Pythagoras theorem, the formula goes like this: is x squared plus y squared. All this is equaling to r squared. If you remember from the beginning, r squared is equaling to 29. There we go. So if you can substitute these values, our x and y, on this formula here, we must get 29. So let's do it. So remember, x is 2, so we're gonna put 2 there, square, plus y is 5, so it's gonna be squared, right? This is equaling to r squared. So this is gonna give us 4. That is gonna give us 25, and then that is r squared. 4 plus 25 is gonna give you 29. So r squared is gonna be 29. So this is also correct. So some of you might decide to choose 5 instead of 2. So if you decide to choose 5, again, you can always find your y. So let's do it when 5 is x. Let me erase here. Let me do it on the side. So I can write here, or when x is equaling to 5, we need to find y. Again, we're going to use the same formula that we used before, which is equation 1. Y is equaling to 7 minus x. So when you continue here, we're going to substitute with 5. So 7 minus 5, this here is going to give us 2. In this case here, y is equaling to 2. Again, if you use Pythagoras theorem to check, still it's going to give us this. Remember, r squared is supposed to be 29. So let's do it when we use the Pythagoras theorem. Let me create a space a bit here. Remember the Pythagoras theorem, it goes like this: x squared plus y squared is equaling to r squared. So r squared is supposed to equal to 29. So this time around, when x is 5, so we're gonna say wherever there is x, we put 5 squared plus 2 squared. Remember, y is 2 there, and then this is gonna be r squared. So this is 25 plus 4 r squared is equaling to r squared. So 25 plus 4 is gonna give you 29 r squared. Guys, I hope you can see the difference between the two. So it really doesn't matter because they never specify that y is supposed to be 5 or 2, but one of them should be 5 and the other should be 2. It doesn't matter which one is 5, which one is 2. So if you decide to do it this way, when your x is 2, your y is going to be 5. If you decide to do this way, when your x is 5, your y is going to be 2. So these two answers are correct, guys. This was very confusing because for some people, they could have got stuck here. But anyway, if this video helped you to understand how to do this, or how to solve this type of a problem, do not forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you didn't understand, leave a comment on the comment section. I'll try to explain to you to my level best. All right, people, we are done with 3.1. Let's go and do 3.2. All right, guys, here is our 3.2. They say make x the subject of the formula here. So you are given this formula here. You need to make x subject to the formula. As you can see, x there is the exponent. What is the first step that you must do here? So the first step here, you must divide by q both sides. So if you divide p by q on the left hand side, also if on the right hand side you have q open bracket p plus q close bracket to the power of 5x, you also have to divide it by q as well. So this q and that q, they will divide each other. So on the left hand side, you'll be left with p over q, and then on the right hand side, you're going to be left with open bracket p plus q, all this to the power of 5x. Right, now that we have this, you can start introducing log on both sides. So if you introduce log this side, we're going to have log p over q is equaling to log open bracket p plus q, all this to the power of 5x. Right, so now you need to apply the log laws. Let's start on the left hand side. There is this law, guys, for logs. Whenever you have log with the same base, let's say m, subtracting with another log with the same base, which is a, let's say this is n, you can write it like this. You can say log base a for both of them, and then it's gonna be m over n. The one that is positive, the number is gonna be on the numerator, and the one that is negative, the number is gonna be on the denominator. So we can write this on the left hand side as this there using this rule. So how about we do that? I can say log p minus log q. Right, remember, if the base is not written, guys, just know that the base is 10 there, just in case you didn't know. All this is equaling to, now let's look at the right hand side. what can we do there? Again, if you use another log law, it goes like this. We have log, let's say base a n to the power of x, right? You can able to take this x, which is an exponent, to the front. So when you write this, you can write it like this: x log base a, then n. In this case, we have the exponent there, which is 5x. So we can use that law, take this 5x to the front. So you're going to have 5x, then you have log, and then we have open bracket p plus q. Also, the next step here is to divide by 5 log open bracket p plus q, both sides. So let's do that. If we divide by 5 log open bracket p plus q, both sides, let's do it. 5 log p plus q. This 5 and that 5 will divide each other, and then this log here and that log will divide each other. So you actually left with the x there. I'm gonna do it here on top. We're gonna be left with log on the right hand side, p minus log q. All this divided by 5 log p plus q. This is equaling to x. Remember, they said we must make x subject of the formula. Guys, you can leave it like this. This is the answer. Remember, the answer can differ from this, but that doesn't mean it's incorrect. Some of you could have answered this like this: log p over q divided by 5 log p plus q. All this is equaling to x. You can always leave it like this. Remember the one on the numerator, we apply this law there. All right, people, I hope you understood how to do this one. Really, it was not that difficult. All you need to know is your log laws, and then again, you needed to know how to manipulate a formula. So anyway, this is how we do this one, guys. If it so happen that you got stuck somewhere, please do not forget to ask on the comment section. I'll try to help you to my level best. But if you manage to get this one, do not forget to like, share, and also subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to hit the bell notification. All right, people, we are done with 3.2. Let's go and do 3.3. Here is 3.3. Now this question here, they just want us to solve for x. As you can see, we have this expression here underneath. So this expression here, on the left hand side we have 2 terms, and on the right hand side we have 1 term. Then so let's solve for x. Now let's start on the left hand side on the first term there. As you can see, it's a fraction. Now we have 3 on the numerator, and underneath there we actually have x squared minus 3x. So we can take out the common factor there, which is actually x. If you take out the common factor, we'll be left with x minus 3 inside the bracket there, minus. Now the second term, we have 4 on the numerator. On the denominator, we have x squared plus 4x. So we can also take out the common factor there, which is x, and then we're going to be left with x plus 4. There we go. And then let's look at the right hand side. So the right hand side on the numerator, again we have 2 there, and then divided by x squared plus x minus 12. So we can factorize this. So let's factorize it. Let's start with the first bracket there and the second bracket. So on the first bracket we have x and x. On the second bracket, if you multiply x and x, they're going to give you x squared. Now we need to find the factors of 12. When you subtract them, they're going to give us 1. So I know that 3 and 4, when you multiply them, they're going to give us 12. But when you subtract them, they're going to give you 1. So we can say 4 and 3. So the factors of 12, the one with the biggest number must take the sign in the middle, which is 4. So 4 is going to be positive and 3 is going to be negative. There we go. Okay, from here, we need to multiply both sides by the denominator of the right hand side. Right, let's do it. So here's our denominator. On our right hand side, it's x minus 3 and x plus 4. So let's do it. So if we multiply the first term with x minus 3, multiply by x plus 4, and then multiply by 3 over x minus 3. There we go. So we can do that minus, and then we do the same thing even here. We can say 4, right, over x, and then we have x plus 4, and then we also multiply this with the the denominator on the right hand side, which is going to be x minus 3, x plus 4, right? And then this is 1 2 2. So what you do on the left hand side, you must also do on the right hand side. So let's do it. So we're going to have x minus 3, x plus 4. So we also need to do that, multiply it this side as well, x minus 3 and x plus 4. There we go. So let's continue. Since we are multiplying here, let me just divide by 1 there. Let's just divide by 1 there. Since we're multiplying, we can say x minus 3 and x minus 3 here, they're going to divide each other. And then on the numerator, we left with x plus 4 multiplied by 3. So x plus 4 multiplied by 3, this is going to give us 3x, and 4 multiplied by 3, this is going to give us plus 12. There we go. And then what is it that we left with? Underneath, we're going to be left with only x on the denominator. This x there. I hope you guys can see. Now we move to the second term. This one of negative 4 over x, open bracket, x plus 4, close bracket. So here again, we have this x plus 4 and that x plus 4. They're going to divide each other. We're going to be left with negative 4 multiplied by x multiplied by negative 3. So let's do it. Negative 4 multiplied by x is going to give us negative 4x. Negative 4 multiplied by negative 3 is going to give us positive 12. There we go. All this is divided by x. There we go. We continue. On the right hand side, we have x minus 3 and x minus 3. They will divide each other. Then x plus 4 and x plus 4 will divide each other. So we only left with 2 there. There we go. So from here, guys, we continue. Let me create a little bit of space again. There we go. So if we create a space here, we can say the denominator, which is x, we can multiply by x throughout on both sides. So we can say x multiplied by 3x plus 12, right? Divide by x, this x there. There we go. Minus 4x plus 12. Let's do this. Now divide by x multiplied by x there. Right. This is equaling to 2. Right. So what you do on the left hand side, you must also do on the right hand side. So on the right hand side, you must also multiply by x. There we go. So this x and that x will divide each other. You're going to be left with 3x plus 12. There we go. And that x and that x are going to divide each other. So you're going to be left with negative 4x plus 12. And this is equaling to 2x. There we go. Now, what we have here is like terms. On the left hand side, we have 3x and negative 4x. And we also have positive 12 and positive 12. So let's do it. Now, 3x minus 4x, we're going to be left with negative x. 12 plus 12, this is going to give us 24. All this is equaling to 2x. If we transpose this negative x on the right hand side, we're going to be left with 24 on the left hand side. And then we're going to have 2x plus x, because this x here is going to become positive when it goes to the right hand side. Now, if you continue on the left hand side, we still have 24, and then we have 2x plus x. This is going to give us 3x. Right, let's create a space so that we can able to solve this problem further. Right, this is enough. So if we divide by 3, divide by 3 there, this is going to give us 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8, and 3 divided by 3, it's 1 multiplied by x, that is your x. So guys, this is our final answer for this x value. I hope you managed to understood this one as well. It was not that challenging, but it needed you to know your fractions. You needed to know how to manipulate the formulas as well. Of course, there are many ways of doing this, but I find this one to be easier. Just in case, guys, you got confused on this question, please go to the point where you got confused. Rewatch at that point. If that doesn't help, do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section. I will try to answer you. But if this video helped you to understand, people, do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Also, hit the bell notification so that whenever I upload a new video, you get notified. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. We are done with question 3. The next video, it will be on question 4 on this question paper. Thank you very much, guys. Till next time. Cheers.